I am now going to give my topic a title, and I'm going to say, review. So for any of my friends, Parker Looks Up is an awesome story. My girls are reading it. And so we're going to pretend that in my class, I read it out loud to my students, and I want them to give it a review, an awesome book review. Okay. So you give your topic a title. Over to the right-hand side, it says record time. How long are you going to give your students to record your video? Your video can be anywhere from 15 seconds. I don't think you could say a lot in 15 seconds, and all the way down to 10 minutes. I think you would be able to say far too much in 10 minutes. There has to be a middle ground, right? So for a book review, I would say no longer than 3 minutes. 3 minutes is long enough for you to say what you want to say about your story. Okay. So then you have the option to come over here and give a prompt. Okay. So I can say, we read this story together. Now I want to know what you think about it. Okay. So depending on our what we talked about in our reading block, I can talk about telling me the main idea, talk to me about the sequence of events, tell me one new word you learned while reading the story. There could be a plethora of things that I can ask my students here. Okay. The possibilities are endless. So your prompt is whatever you are asking your students to answer. Now we're going to scroll down. The next thing, all of these things up here are required. This next thing, the focus, is optional. So you can add a piece of media to engage your students. So if I had let's just say I wanted to add an emoji, I can add a YouTube video. Maybe there's a video of Parker actually going to see the painting of First Lady Michelle Obama. I can upload a video, or I could click this button where it says record a video. So this is going to actually open up my camera. Hi. And I can read to my students. Okay, so I could click this button right here, the record button, and it gives me a countdown. Hello, boys and girls. In the Flipgrid, tell me recording. The recording that I'm creating, I have options. I can use all these different things. There are filters. So I can filter that out, right? There is text where I can type here. It's going to give me a text box. So I can type information for my I guess it's for anybody, but I always like to show this to my math friends. This turn my camera. I can begin to annotate. So let's just say if this were them, I wanted them to describe their thinking or their math reasoning in solving an equation. I could begin to my stylus and write information, but I had to make sure I was recording at the same time. Okay, so you have the option to turn your screen into a whiteboard. Okay, stickers, the kids love the stickers. You have the option of drawing, and then information. I can click the next. It's going to ask to review. I reviewed it, and girls, oh my and gosh. I love it. And then the final thing you do, Flipgrid is all about love and amplifying voice. So at the end of every video that you create, you always have a selfie. And then I click next, and then it's going to go back to my screen. Don't close my window. It's getting everything ready. And then you get all the celebration and confetti, and I say complete. So now that video is right here. I will tell you the pros of this. If you have, we always talk about struggling readers, about them, you being able to read the text to them. But I also say it's not even only about our struggling readers. Our readers, my daughter can read, but she likes being read to as well. So giving them the option of you giving your voice and giving directions, and the babies, the grown babies, the big kids, they want to hear your voice and see you too. So that's an awesome option. And so then all I have to do is click the button that says create topic. Now it says that your topic is ready to for students. You can share this link for your students. You can share. There are a whole lot of ways that you could share this. I could click copy, and then it's going to copy this link, and I could paste this link into my Canvas page. I could paste it into an assignment in my Canvas page so that my students would actually have to respond. I could, if I were in the classroom, like not necessarily right now, I would print this QR code, and I would have my codes on a table, and my kids would respond to the codes or to the topics during their rounds, during their reading centers, or it could be actually a center that they have to make sure that they complete. So I love the option of the QR codes. If you use Remind, you could share it on Remind, or you could embed this code anywhere. Or for our people that are using Microsoft Teams to meet with their students, this is also, you could send that there. Okay, so then I say all set. And so now this is my topic. Here's my information. Oh, I love the QR code options as well. Here's my what I have. And so the awesome thing that is really great is because Flipgrid has partnered with Microsoft. Microsoft has an awesome tool called the Immersive Reader. And so the Immersive Reader also lives in Flipgrid. So just like I can have the Immersive Reader on my Microsoft documents, if I click the Immersive Reader here, it's going to open up my information, and my students, make sure my mic's turned up, guys. Yep. And so
we read this story together. Now I want to know what you think about it.
So that also is another layer that is awesome. It's going to take just the text from my prompt, and it's going to pull it into Immersive Reader to be able to read to students. Okay, what do you guys think about that so far? Super, super easy. I like the simplicity of how Flipgrid looks. There aren't a whole lot of buttons. I don't feel overwhelmed when I'm looking. It helps me in that manner. So now that I have my topic for my students, I want to show you guys some things that I think are key that I learned along the way. When you're looking at your topic, there's this button right here with this drop down that says actions. Okay. You could record a response. Okay. I like this button that says hide topic, because your topic, you might want to go in and create some topics for your students, and you might not want them to have access to them at that moment. So you can hide the topic. You can move the topic to another grid. If you've put a lot of components into the topic, you can duplicate it. So this is for my secondary friends who might have the same topic appear in multiple grids. Because remember, your grids are for your classes, so to say. You can duplicate that and have it go to multiple classes. There's another thing that I did not show you guys, so I'm going to go right here and click the pencil. You can always edit your topic by clicking the pencil. I want to scroll down some more. So we stopped right here, but I want to scroll down. You have some other options as it relates to your grid. If you want to add attachments, maybe URLs, you can add them here. Down here is the part that I absolutely love, your status your topic status. This is something I would definitely do, the video moderation. It says that if moderated, videos will be hidden from students until you activate them. I like this one. Now, in a perfect world, our kids would only say the things that we wanted them to say. But we know we don't live in a perfect world. And sometimes our friends, especially if we haven't, sometimes when we haven't given explicit directions, or sometimes when we haven't set our expectations, our kids, they don't always do the right thing. And sometimes even when we do, they still don't do the right thing. However, the video moderation tool is an awesome option because this enables the teacher to basically accept or approve a video before it is displayed to the entire class. So this, I would advise that you use the video moderation option. Okay. The other option, do you want your students to reply to others? If you want them to be able to reply to each other, you make sure that this is green. If you just want them to just tell you an answer, a prompt, then you would swipe that to turn it off. Okay. The status, like I told you guys, is your active, meaning that it is accepting responses. Frozen means that you can view it, but you're not accepting responses. And hidden means it will not be seen to the class. The other option to the right is launch and freeze. This tells you when your when your topic will go live and when you want it to expire. So if it's something that is time and date sensitive, I might want to only give this topic a due date. Basically, you're saying that I'm not going to accept any responses to this grid after the 8th. So now it tells you that it's a scheduled time. Okay. The other options down here are the video features. If you don't want them to take a selfie at the end, they don't have to. You could just say that we just want the video only. I like this option because I get to see how creative my kids are, allowing them to edit their videos and trim their videos. A lot of times as teachers, we think that we have to know how to use the tool completely, and that is not true. Our kids are very savvy and resilient. So I like to say, hey guys, this is something new I'm trying. And I want you guys to show me all the cool things that you learn. Because I know some stuff, but I know you guys probably know more. So I always do the little little Jedi mind trick with them if it's something that, and I'm always transparent and let them know, I'm learning with you guys. Okay. So I allow my kids to give their video a title. The other thing is the view count. Pros and cons to this. If you don't want the kids to be inundated or worried about how many views, because this is their life, this is their world, right? Everything catching views and getting views, then you might want to slide that off so that they are not concerned with the views of their video. I like the sticky note option. I didn't talk about it in the video, but it allows them to create sticky notes that appear on their screen while they're videoing. If you want them to be able to attach a link or a Google Doc or something, then they would you would allow them to add the attachment link. Okay. And then down here is the feedback. It enables you, this is just basic feedback about their ideas and performance, or you could build your own rubric for the topic. Okay. So now I'm going to update it. And so now this topic is ready to go live for my students. Okay. So for them, if you want to try and kind of see how this works, all you would have to do, guys, is if I click the share button, all you guys would have to do is go to flipgrid.com/ and these symbols here. And you know what? I'm going to copy it and I'm going to drop it in the chat so that you guys can see what it looks like from the student view. Okay. I promise you, creating a video in the student view is just as easy as it was. You see the exact same way that I created this video. Okay. Now I want to back out and go back to my topic. So now that I'm in my grid, remember this was my class that I created. From my view, I can see the grid that I've created. This one was the default grid. If you don't want kids to post anything in this default grid, what should I do over here to these options? What should I do over here to the right? Because right now, anyone who I share my grid with will have access to these two topics. Very good. I will use this right here and I can make it inactive. And to do that, I can either freeze, I can hide it. That's what I would choose. I would choose just to make it hidden. And so the students won't see it. If you don't even want it anymore, I could just click it and click the edit pencil and decide I want to delete it right here. Delete topic. Well, luckily, it's going to tell you if you want to delete it, it's going to be permanently deleted in any responses. Well, luckily, there are no videos there. So now it's only the topic that I've created. Okay. I wanted to show you some other things within your grid. So it gives you your grid code, but this option, do we have anyone in the session today that is a co-teacher that you teach with another person throughout the day? Anybody? Yay, Miss Whitfield. I was a co-teacher. Me and my partner, we worked together on a lot of things. And so even though I created this grid, all of our students would be responding together. And Flipgrid knows that we as teachers, we collaborate a lot. So one of the features that they added is this option to add a co-pilot. A co-pilot is another grown-up. It could be a student too, but another grown-up that you want to have access to your grid. All you would have to do is type their email here, and then you invite them, and now they will have access to this grid. What do you guys think about that? It's a really, really awesome addition. That wasn't one of the things that was with Flipgrid when they first launched. And I think teachers were like, hey, I need other people to be able to see these things. So they added that feature, which I love. Okay. Now, right now, from this view on this grid, I'm able to see that I don't have any videos yet. It would tell me if there were a response, it would tell me the last response, and I'm able to see those other parameters or those other options as well. This hand in the top right-hand corner of the image lets me know that this topic is moderated, meaning it's reminding me that my students won't see the videos until I approve them. Okay. So that is that. That's all I wanted to show you. And all of that information lives right here under the My Grids tab. Now, because this session, there's a lot that we could dig very deeply into, but I wanted to make sure that you were able to begin and start a grid and be able to also add a topic to your grid. But if you are just, on it and you want to dig a little more, I want to make sure that I show you this awesome spot. So over here is what is called the Disco Library, and it's just as fun as it sounds. The Disco Library is where teachers have shared all of the awesome grid topics that they have created. In addition to teachers sharing their grid topics, Flipgrid has partnered with so many education companies to create their own kind of playlist of different things. And so I hope everyone knows that right now to the end of the this school year, we have access to vocabulary. And so Flipgrid has partnered with Vocabulary to create these grid topics. And so I actually showed my daughter this one the other day on pronouns. It tells you, the school age or whatever. And if I click pronouns, I just want to let you see what the topic's like. They've embedded a YouTube video, which is basically their Flipgrid topic. And then it tells you right here is the notes. So it gives you some information and it tells them what you need to do. If you love this topic, then all you would have to do is say right here where it says add this topic, and you select a grid that you want to share this to. Once you share, like that was my test class, and I click add. Once I add it to my grid, now it's mine. So do you guys notice, like now I can add my own information here. I can change anything about the topic to make it my own. And so my kids don't have to, or so that I can make it, personalize it with all the information that I want. What do you guys think about that? And so all I would have to do once I made all these parameters the way I wanted them, I would click update my topic. And now I'm back in my sessions, and you see now that topic looks, it's mine. It's in my group. It's in my class. I absolutely love the disco library. Sometimes I'm not sure how I want to use something, and sometimes it just takes, I just need a little mind jogging, and I just would love to see how other people have used them. So again, that's the featured playlist. You could also just simply scroll down here and you could just search a subject or topic, and you could just find things that way. I've added different things for different subjects or different things that I've taught. So it's just a great collaboration tool. I absolutely love it. So I wanted to make sure I showed you guys that. They've also partnered with Epic Books. So if you read Epic Books in your classroom, or if you've assigned digital books for your kids, you can peruse and look at the different Epic Book topics that are there, as well as Nearpod. So the possibilities are endless. I like the idea of being able to app smash, which is taking more than one app and putting them together for an awesome activity, a great activity for the kids. So I wanted to make sure I showed you guys that. And then finally, I wanted to show you guys your mixtapes. Mixtapes are just what they sound like. So my kids, my 7th graders, had no idea what a mixtape was. Okay. And so this became me building some background knowledge. I said, well, long ago, before we had digital music, and I know that we had music in other forms, but work with me. I told them we used to have music on cassette tape. And if you wanted the best of the best, like the best music from the best people, they were put on mixtapes. It was like your favorite artists' songs, a compilation. And so we talked about that. As a teacher, you have the option, yes, Janet on the mixtape. You have the option to add your student videos to a mixtape. Okay, so it's basically like creating the best of the best and housing them in one place. So the way I told my kids, I told them, hey, not just any old body can make it to my mixtape. I am looking for the cream of the crop, the best of the best to share on my mixtape. And so under mixtapes, I named my mixtapes VIPs because those were the kids that answered the topic the best. Okay. And so I added them to this, and now I can share just my VIPs, my VIP videos with everyone. So they could, same way, I could share that. And this becomes, you know how we have to do our bulletin boards that demonstrate student work? So I've chosen my exemplars and added them to my mixtape. Guess what I could do? If I print this QR code, guys, I could share this outside of my classroom to show parents, teachers, and other students the awesomeness that we've been doing in my classroom. So I absolutely love this option. The kids loved it. They loved trying to figure out who was going to be on my mixtape. They were trying really, really hard to make good videos so that they could make it to the mixtape. So it was a little competition, friendly competition. So to do that, if you had a video in your grid, I'm going to go down to a topic that I know has some video responses. If I wanted to add, let's see what's over here. If I had in my topic, if I wanted to add this video because this person did an awesome job, if I click actions, where am I going to click? What am I going to do? Under options or actions, excuse me, I would click actions. And y'all see this button right here that says add to mixtapes? Very good. I would click add to mixtapes, and then all of my mixtapes that I have already created will show, or I can create a new mixtape. And all I would do is say, I'm going to add it this one, and I say add, and now that becomes a part of that mixtape. The kids love it. I love being able to just house my good videos because you'll learn, like I said, especially as you start to use this tool, you'll be like, well, there was a really good, I have a great example. And it just creates a little folder to house that exemplar. But let me tell you, it gets competitive, especially if you make it a big deal. My kids were like, wait, you're only going to choose 3 for your mixtape? Your mixtape only has 3 videos? And I'm like, yep, only the best 3. And so that was really exciting for us as a class. So let's just review. So we talked about how to create a grid. A grid is like our class where our videos will be housed. And then within our grid, we talked about creating topics. We talked about all the different options, making your topic active, how to share your topic, how to some other actions with your topic. And we talked about how to moderate your topic to make sure that we are able to preview those videos before they are actually live for our students. We also talked about importing great topics from the Disco library. And then our last thing that I wanted to show you is the things that live under your profile name. So under your name is your profile, integrations, achievements, and help center. So under your integrations is if you've I don't use this way. We do have I do integrate Flipgrid and Canvas, but I just share my link. So we wouldn't need that one, but I want to show you guys the achievements. The Flipgrid community has they use badges. Okay. And so as you become more familiar and start to use the tool, you'll actually end up earning these different badges. So I have my community member badge, my Flipgrid certified educator badge. My goal is to get this level 3 before we go back to school in the fall, because I actually love this tool. So you can just earn different badges. It's kind of cool. It's kind of motivating, makes you want to learn more about the tool. So I wanted to make sure I showed you guys that. And then lastly, the help center. If you have any questions that I was unable to answer, if you want to dig a little deeper, I told the Flipgrid 2 class about grid pals. Think pen pals for the virtual world. That's basically what grid pals is. And the help center will help you with all of that information as well. I want to thank you guys for attending. I'm going to stay on a little longer just in case there's some questions that need to be or that were not answered or need to be answered. But I want to encourage you guys, if you don't even want to use Flipgrid for content, use it as a way to check up on your kids. Read a story and share it on Flipgrid to your kids and let them be able to see you and hear your voice. They will be so excited. My daughter looks forward to her class meeting days when she can talk to her teacher. And so you guys will be surprised. As a parent of 2 little ones, you guys as teachers matter almost more than what I say. My daughter always, well, no, my teacher said. So you guys really, really, really matter. And your students are definitely missing you during this time. So I am so glad you guys joined us for our Flipgrid 101 session today. I hope you learned something. I hope it's something that you be able to use, if not in the near future, most definitely when we start in the fall. Thank you for joining us.